It's literal whale tooth.
Oh.
It's ivory.
That's real, eh?
Yeah.
So, like, this was in the ocean. An animal.
No, it was one of those whales that live in trees. Hello! Welcome back to Bardicaggravation, or 2 if it's your first time here. I'm Kent, that's Rick, that's Brandon. Big news, you've already seen the thumbnail, but the 09 is out.
What?
For DC20, the DC20 0.9 beta is finally here.
Yes.
And it's all about the subclasses. So today we're doing the wizard. The wizard subclasses, there are 3 of them. There will be many more. Let's get that straight. This is not even done yet. So the game just got off the Kickstarter and it's all still being developed and worked out. But these are the first 3 subclasses that are coming out. Every class has 3. There will be plenty more as the game progresses. So don't you worry. So we're going to go over what the wizard, just the plain old wizard, the non-subclass wizard, just the wizard class without the class subclasses.
That's a lot.
Class.
What?
So just the wizard class. The subclassless class wizard. The D&D wizard and the DC20 wizard. What's the difference?
They're similar.
The D&D wizard is their spell school, is their subclass. That's it. You get a little something here with the divination wizard. You can roll a D20 and save it for later.
Yeah.
With the necromancy wizard, you can, I don't know, make a skeleton. But other than that, you're all getting the same crap. The 2024 only has 3 or 4.
It has the 4, yeah.
Because you got to have that blade singer.
I don't know if Blade Singer's even...
You can make any wizard a blade singer in DC20, by the way. Just letting that cat out of the bag.
What? And then you don't even have to play a wizard to be a blade singer too. But we'll get to that later.
Right. That'll be in the Spellblade video in DC20. Every wizard gets to pick their spell school right off the bat. First level, before you get to 3rd level and you get your subclass. That's exciting. That's fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
You want to be a divination wizard? You can be a divination wizard. You want to be a necromancer? You can be a necromancer. Just take those spells from that spell school and you're off to the races. Magic works differently. Instead of
100%.
spell slots, you have mana points. You've all heard of this before. This isn't brand spanking new, but it's better. None of the magic users in DC20 have to prepare their spells. They just know the spells they know, as God intended. Spells in DC20 are not done yet. They're not fleshed out yet. The spells that came out in the 08 are still the same spells in the 09. They're just placeholder spells. There are plenty of them to start playing with at these lower levels that you're going to play DC20 at, so don't let that stop you from playing the game or playing a wizard or a warlock or any of that. You have plenty to play with because you only get so many at 3 spells at first level,
right,
plus a couple cantrips. So it's fine, but the 010 that's coming out, hopefully this summer is the deal, I think, somewhere around there, maybe in the fall. That's their whole entire spell rework. So it's going to have a different magic casting system, and the spells are all going to do different things, their own unique signature spells.
It's going to be a lot of work. I can imagine that's going to be...
How do you do that? You can spend mana point enhancements on your spells when you cast them. You can do action point enhancements on your cantrips, which means, let's say you want to cast, you got a firebolt, right? First level firebolt, very simple, very basic. It costs you a action point, but let's say it costs a mana point. First level spell. If you wanted to go farther, or you wanted to do more damage, or you wanted to hit more than one target with it, you can add a mana point to it and it can do these things. You can add 2 mana points to it and do more of these things. So it's like that, that dancing lights cantrip where you get these little harmless glowing orbs and you can see and they dance around and you can make them look like a person if you want to. Well, if you want to add a mana point to it, or 2, I forget, and everybody's looking at it and they're all like, oh, look at that pretty light. You can make it explode. And their faces, their heads are rolling, and it's great.
So is that every spell?
Every spell has a thing that you can enhance, yes.
And there's mana limit to it, according to your level. You can only spend
mana
so many
spend
points.
limit.
Yes, there's a limit. You can't just put all 6 of your mana points into one spell at level 1 because it won't work.
Yeah, no. I think at first level, what do you got? One mana point spend limit. Yeah. These go up as you level up, obviously. But this is also to keep you from being way too overpowered at lower levels. But yeah, you can kind of manipulate your spells. That's very cool. That's one of the coolest things about being no prepared spells, and you can kind of make your signature spells do different things you want them to do. depending on what you want to spend your resources upon.
So starting off at level 1, we're picking our spell school.
That's where you got to get that out of the way. If you want to be a wizard, what are you going to major
Spell
in?
school, so then you get an extra spell and extra cantrip in that school.
Destruction, abjuration, conjuration, summoning, all. You know, you're familiar with those. Well, Brandon, what do you think of the situation?
Well, Kent, in your signature spell school, the cool thing about... So the cool thing you get from your signature spell school, which makes it really special, is when you cast a spell in that spell school.
Yeah.
From that spell school?
From that spell school, whatever you
You're
want
not
to call
actually
it.
in a school.
Yes, you are.
Keep that in mind. You're not at Hogwarts.
Yes, you are. You can be if you want.
You can be if your DM is that kind of DM.
But-
GM.
But you can cast it... Shut up!
Okay.
You can cast it with a reduction of 1 mana point. So basically, you're getting a bonus.
Get a free mana point.
Yeah, for casting spells within that spell school.
So if it costs you 1 mana point to cast it, it costs you 0.
It's like having a cantrip for free.
So what else do they get? What's the really cool thing?
So the really cool thing that I really like that DC20 does...
Just say it.
Shut up. They get Arcane Sigil.
Sure.
So what that is you get to place this almost like a
What
rune.
that is, does that make any grammatical sense? People have been saying that a lot. I don't think that's a thing. What that is, you just said is already. It's like the ATM machine.
I think grammatically it works, but it's unnecessary.
We'll say it without the 2 is. Let's see how it sounds. Let's see.
Okay. What it is what it is what it's like.
He has to switch the whole word on now. All right.
What it is basically
You can't sneak it in there.
And
You're trying to just sneak it in there like we wouldn't notice.
Arcane Sigil. One of the coolest things about being a wizard is you have the ability to like basically cast a rune underneath yourself. Is basically how I view it. It's a sigil. They call it a sigil. And what it is. God damn it. So Arcane Sigil allows you the ability to cast basically a rune underneath yourself, and that allows you. Arcane Sigil, you get this ability to cast a rune underneath yourself, and you use one of your spell school's tags. Like if you like to cast flame spells, use fire, and you tag fire underneath you, and what that does is that gives you advantage on those spell checks with that tag.
It's called a sigil. We all know what a sigil is.
Or-
not a rune. It's a
According to
sigil.
Rick, it's a seagull.
It could look like a seagull. It could look like a pentagram. It could look like any symbol you want it to. It could look like your, I don't know,
autograph.
your star sign. And it's underneath you. It's in your space. It takes up 1 space. And when you're standing in it, you have decided which kind of, it can be cold, it can be fire, it can be teleportation, it can be electricity, whatever you want. But it has to have that tag. So any spells you cast with that tag on it, you have advantage on those spell checks. In DC20, whenever you cast a spell, you have to make a spell check. If you make the spell check, the spell goes off just fine. If you roll below it, the spell's still going to go off, but it might do less damage. You might get it for a lower duration. And if you roll really well, like in DC20, 5 above, 10 above, better things happen, because rolls matter. You might be able to do more damage, or teleport further, or heal more people, or whatever it is. So that's why you're making the spell check. But you have advantage on this now, so you're probably going to get this spell off every time. Unless you really roll like Brandon. It lasts for 1 minute, which will get you through most combats. If it doesn't, your DM sucks.
Cinematically, if I'm a necromancer and there's all this dark magic I'm pulling up from the ground, it's just like, it's really cool looking,
You could have like little dancing skeletons in a circle around you with little top hats and canes.
Well, that's not what I would do, but yeah. Anyways, I think Arcane Sigil is really cool, and it is completely different than anything you would see in D&D.
The fact that it lasts for a minute, so you're getting advantage on your spell checks for that whole combat if you just cast spells of that with that spell tag.
Right, if you're standing on that sigil.
So you are a master caster. Master caster.
Master caster.
What if you really want to heal somebody and you put it out there for healing? And then you let your healer stand on it and then helps their healing.
Then the DM has a dragon come in and kill the healer and carry on with the game as normal.
That was not very nice, Kent.
He's baiting me. Do you see what he does? And then you people wonder why I don't like penguins. Now you see. This is why. Because Brandon torments me with them.
Constantly.
This is not an evil penguin.
What'd you do to his chest there? What did you Sharpie out there? What did it say?
It says tits. Censor bar. Have you ever not seen Girls Gone Wild? The ads for it?
That makes sense now. I was wondering what...
Censored.
You don't want to
If
see...
you want to see the uncensored version, we'll probably have a Patreon at
Yeah,
some point.
we can't have penguin boobs on here. This is made for children.
All right, and the last thing you get at level 1.
It's your flavor feature.
Flavor feature.
Every class in DC20 gets a flavor feature. So Ritual Caster is the flavor thing.
As the Ritual Caster, you get an extra spell with the Ritual tag on it. And you can cast these outside of combat without using mana points.
So yeah, you get an extra spell. Has to have the Ritual tag.
But level 1, geez, you're already that much stuff, really? I mean, come on.
Yeah, you're jam-packed with features. I mean, they haven't even leveled up. These are just, level 1. How cool is that? You're not getting that from D&D.
How front-loaded are these? This is great.
That's
Just
really
great.
front-loaded.
You feel like a wizard.
You feel like your class. I was just going to get to that.
But we're only at level 2 now. Now, you can prepare a spell.
Ooh.
One spell. It does cool things. That's why you're preparing it. You're getting it ready for a big, exciting day.
Like, so in D&D, preparing spells is different than this.
Preparing spells is just learning the spells you're going to cast for the day. This isn't that.
No.
This is a spell that you're putting some extra English on, a little spin, a little polish, and some glitter.
Effort into this spell. This is your spell.
Putting some, you're giving it an extra, you're dressing it up for a night on the town. And what can you do with it?
So many things.
Not really.
Once per long rest, you choose this spell.
You pick that one spell, any spell that you know, not any spell you don't know. You have to know it.
That would only make sense. Your mana point increase
This is huge.
by 1.
Your mana point limit, spend limit, increases by 1. So at level 1, with this prepared spell, you can spend 2 mana points, which is crazy.
But once a day or once per whenever initiative is rolled.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically, think of it once per combat.
Once per
So it's a free enhancement, basically.
Yeah.
It's a free enhancement, yes, at the very least. You can make that spell much more powerful than any other caster at first level can do. And it'll keep going up, So at second level, you can cast it at a third level. Think of it that way.
With your prepared spell, if somebody is going to spell duel you, they have disadvantage to stop your disadvantage on the check to stop the spell.
This would be a good time to inform you about spell duels. This is another thing that D&D does not have, and this is one of the most exciting features of DC20 in our opinion. You can do spell duels. When somebody goes to cast a spell and you're a magic user, you can say, I want to spell duel them. So it's not counter spell, which is beyond boring. This is, I'm going to spell duel. If somebody's casting an ice spell, what would you use to counter that?
Fire.
Cast fire.
Or
Water.
Ice.
another ice spell. Anything that you think your DM has to, don't try to get away with crap. But you can knock it off course with the wind spell, or you get creative.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So you can do these, and then you both roll a spell check, right? To see whose spell is going to win, and maybe their spell does go up, and you just wasted a whole thing. Or maybe you stop their spell in a very cool, dramatic way. So if somebody tries to spell duel your very special prepared spell, they have disadvantage on that check. So you're probably going to win that duel.
Probably.
So this is going to be your old trusty, right on your hip spell that you carry around just for spell dueling, maybe.
And you could change this every time. Like if you know what you're walking into, you could change the spell per situation.
Exactly. We're going to deal with fire crap. All right, hold on. Let me take a nap and then grab this spell.
Yeah. All right. So our last thing you get at level 2 is that you actually get to pick a talent, right? You get to pick a talent.
Yeah, you get to pick talent.
Yeah, we get to pick a talent off the talent chart. So we'll do a whole video on talent because it's a very deep hole to go into, but they're kind of mini feats for your specialties and the things you want to do.
Think of it like picking a feat.
Yeah.
And it's also, that's how you multi-class. You can take one feature from another class if you want to with the talent that you spend.
Yes.
You can take it from your own class if you don't have everything you want from that, but right now you do because you're only level 2. But if you're like, all right, I got my wizard stuff, I'm feeling pretty good about it, I'm going to take a talent from the monk over here because I want to do monk stances for some reason. I want to be a monk wizard.
Yeah.
You're not technically multi-classing. You're still your wizard. You're still progressing as your wizard. You're not losing anything, but you're going to grab this one thing. So that's what you can spend a talent on. There are other things too. You can spend a talent on an attribute increase. We'll get into it, but just know that
It's even more
we're
stuff.
experts on talents.
There's a lot of talents out there.
Brandon has none of them. Okay, so
We hit level 3. This is amazing.
level 3. You got 3 choices. Kind of, maybe 4. You're going to pick your subclass now. And the first one... Oh, man. Come on, man. Fuck off in the nicest way possible. So, here we are at the subclasses. This is going to be exciting because, again, way different than... We've already covered the spell schools. You already got your spell school. Mm-hmm. If this was D&D 5e 2024 5...
Whatever year.
You'd just be now getting your spell school. Mm-hmm. We're done. We did that. Now we're on to the fun stuff. What's the first one, Brandon? What can you be? What kind of cool crap can you pick?
So the coolest thing out of all, in my humble opinion, the coolest subclass.
What it is.
Shut up. Is the Portal Mage, and it's exactly how it sounds.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
You know.
Yes, it is.
You can walk through portals constantly?
You create portals. Oh. Now it all depends. It all coincides with your arcane sigil.
Sure.
Right.
Without the arcane sigil, you're nothing. You're nobody.
You can't be a portal mage without
You
your
can't be
arcane
one.
sigil.
Just sorry, we'd like to help you out, but the way it is the way it is.
It builds upon that. Are you ready? Are you ready? I don't think you're ready.
Tell me what it is.
You get portal magic, okay? So,
sure do.
And it builds upon your arcane sigil. So you can spend an extra mana point. That's how you get this thing. And now you create an arcane portal within 10 spaces. So it links to your arcane sigil. You can move things through that portal back and forth. You can allow a creature to walk through that portal and then come out at your arcane sigil.
So you're letting people... It's not just like an open pathway all the time?
You choose who goes through it.
That's really... Wow, that's huge. That's a lot of spaces to move.
10 spaces is about 100 feet, so this is a pretty good
distance.
It's not. 50 feet. How many is it?
50 feet.
50 feet. Still big. It's a lot.
Still big. You can definitely move across the battle map now. If you have somebody who's in
Unless
peril,
it's 55 feet, then you can't.
that's really cool. It changes the battlefield mechanics. Because now if you have somebody who's in dire danger and you need to get them from there to here, you pop an arcane portal over there. Really cool.
Dire danger.
Dire danger.
Not run-of-the-mill normal danger. The dire danger.
I view this as like the Pac-Man feature where you walk from one side of the map and you end up over here.
It's very much like that, actually, yes.
This is very cool. Or if you're more if you're not as old as Kent or Rick and you don't know Pac-Man, maybe you know Rick and Morty. Rick Sanchez uses a portal gun. Same idea. Opens up a portal, walks through, comes out over there. Cool thing. So that's pretty cool. You can not only can you walk through it and do these things, you can also link it with your magic. You can now cast through that portal as if you were standing in that spot.
Or attack through it. You have to be within one space of the sigil or the portal. They're linked, as he said. So as long as somebody, an ally or yourself, is within one space of either of those, they can utilize these things. They can teleport from one to the other, or they can, if you got that thing open, and let's say your monk is standing on your sigil, and your portal is over there next to one of the bad guys, the monk can just go, ha-cha, through the portal, and it goes 50 feet away and gets the guy in the neck. He's like, what the hell what? How did that happen?
Which one of you kicked me in the face?
You just punch right through it, and comes right through that. It'd be so cool.
That's a really cool dynamic. It
But
changes a lot of things.
It'll increase the range of your spell immensely.
Yeah.
And now you can cast a spell through that.
Bigly, as you like to say.
From that as your starting
Touch
point.
spells, too. I mean, you almost become a frontline player from the back lines.
Yeah, right.
That's
Right? You're right in the middle of the
incredible.
fight. You're right there. And you could bring people in and out of it. Mm-hmm. Wow.
If you cast a spell from the the portal or the sigil, you get the benefits of the sigil. If you're within one space of your portal, you get that spell school tag where you can cast your...
You get all the benefits of your sigil.
that we talked about earlier. Rewind. It is like having 2 sigils and they're a teleport link. Think of it that way. Mm-hmm. It's pretty powerful. So many things
game-changing.
you could do to
It's
ruin your DM's day.
huge battlefield magic, right? I mean, This is battlefield control at its best.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
You are such a specialized wizard now. Because you're still casting the spells that the other wizards can cast. You picked your spell school, so probably not the exact same ones, but unless they took the same spell schools as you. But you have this. Your specialty is teleportation and creating these portals and, like I said, bending time and space.
Can you put them? Okay, 10 spaces. I could also put it above you.
I don't see why not.
Right? On the ceiling. If it's gonna have my guy jump out of it onto you or something like that, you can. I don't even know.
Yeah, you
That'd be
could
creative
probably
way
get
to
up to a ledge, right?
Right? There's no limit on how you can use this thing. 50 spaces up. Maybe you could teleport yourself up somewhere. You know
Not
what I mean?
50 spaces, 10 spaces, 50
10
feet.
spaces, 50 feet. That's right. 50 feet.
Could you get through a door or something? You have to see it, right? You have to see where the...
You have to see where you put the portal. So if it's
So
a
if you
closed
can
door,
look through a bars, you could get on the other side of that
Why not?
portcullis, right?
Yeah.
so that's a way to get around things. That'd be clever.
Yeah,
You could take your whole party through it one at a time.
for real.
That would be crazy.
They can't take it from you. You're in a jail cell. You're out.
So your GM's gonna have to put like some kind of magic suppressor helmet on your wizard, because
Magneto
otherwise,
helmet you're wearing.
he's gonna ruin all your plans. This subclass sucks.
It's too good.
You get your flavor feature, they call it.
Right?
Your subclass flavor feature. It's called being a portal sage. You have advantage on checks regarding astromancy, whatever the fuck that is.
Astronomy.
Astronomy.
Astromancy.
You can tell people's horoscope. It's astromancy. It's space. It's teleportation. It's that stuff.
Sounds like that's going to be a spell tag for something.
It is. It already is. You haven't missed a
seems to
step. So
But I think it's just so wild. I love the idea of a portal mage.
why does somebody want to study to be a portal? Why is that their magic?
I mean, maybe they just don't like. Maybe they're like Stephen Hawking, where they're disabled,
Right.
so they can't walk to places easily. So they want to teleport themselves from place to place.
Maybe they're just always late for work. Maybe you hate your husband or your wife and you're just like, I'm out of here. All kinds of reasons you come up with to make this thing fun, but it's really cool, really unique. Again, you don't have that in 5e.
No,
Here's your spectacle.
you can't even make it in 5e. There is no mechanic to create a portal.
No,
No.
you can make a teleportation circle. Not
Yeah.
the same thing in any way, shape, or form. And that's much higher levels and bullshit. So no, this is level 3. You're having fun with teleportation circles and portals and sigils. Oh my god. It's really like cinematic, and you can add so much to your character and your story.
Can definitely piss off a GM with it.
The next subclass is the Witch. So you got the Witch, which is a wizard subclass. I find that odd, to be honest.
Why, you feel like you'd be more warlock?
I have a whole thing with the Warlock and the Witch because in lore, particularly Scottish lore, male witches are warlocks. The warlock shouldn't be what it is. Later on, hundreds of years later, it became something that only made a pact with the devil, and they called those people warlocks. A male witch is somebody who their magic is witchcraft. Mm-hmm. So witchcraft is its own specific sort of magic, just like voodoo or something like that. So witch, being a subclass of wizard, it's cool. I'm not poo-pooing it. We're going to get into it and how much fun it is. But what is a male witch if it's not a warlock? Just a witch?
Switch.
I know these modern day covens and the people that believe they're vampires and witches. They call male witches just witches, and apparently there's some kind of authority because they're actual. If you believe that you really are a witch or a vampire,
Stop it. Get some help.
for now we're just gonna go with the male witch. But if you want to call it a warlock, you want to call it whatever you want to, it's fine. But so it's a witch. To prep that beforehand, I would take spells that are more, as you'll see, it's witchy, so it's hexes and curses and things like that. So you kind of want to gear your character toward that before 3rd level. Start taking banes and those kind of things that just ruin people's day. Just make them wish they just stayed in bed. The first thing is called Coven's Gift, so your witch is Coven. So, maybe you joined a coven. Coven. Is it Coven or Coven?
The Coven.
So maybe you join one of these at 3rd level, and now you get your official witch badge. And now I can call myself a witch, because before I was just a wizard, but now I'm a witch because I'm in a coven. You've already chosen your spell school, just like every other wizard, but now you can take any spells that have the cursed tag. And you automatically learn one spell with the cursed tag. So you do get a freebie spell to permanently put in your pocket, your spell wallet,
Cursed.
but it has to have the curse tag. Now, what the whole thing here is, here's the crux of it. You get what's called hex enhancements.
Ooh.
So basically what you're doing is when you cast a spell, you can only do these when you cast a spell. You can't just hex somebody without attaching it to a spell. But you can attach a hex enhancement to a spell. You do that by spending a mana point, but it does not count towards your mana spend limit.
Oh, that's great. That's like a freebie.
You're not
It's a
limited.
freebie on the top.
So you can add this onto your spell, and it won't be like, oh nope, you already spent 2 mana on your spell, so you can't afford. Yes, I can, because now your mana spend limit's 3, right?
Because you're a witch.
Because you're a witch. And everybody knows witches can do this crap.
Yep.
That's why we burn you at the stakes.
They're not just green nose wart having things like in Wizard of Oz.
They can be, but no, they can be.
They can just,
They can look like Brandon. So anyway, you have 3 choices of the kind of hexes you can put on a spell. So any spell you cast. So as we said, 1 mana point for each one of these, and you don't have to just learn one. You know all 3 of them. You can cast whichever one you want to whenever you want to, and you can only attach 1 per spell. So you can't put 3 of these on 1 spell because that would be cheating. So the first one is basically it's your basic charm, right? You can add onto a firebolt or an ice bolt. Hey, have a little charm. So now it hits them. They have to make a charisma saving throw.
okay.
It lasts for 1 minute. All these hexes last for 1 minute. And they have to make a charisma saving throw every time against your spell DC check. So this charms you, and what happens when they're charmed? Same, charm, it's the same thing. They find you charming, and they don't want to hurt you now, and you're interesting to them. And just don't let your buddies hit them, because that'll knock them right out of it, apparently. Here's one called a Reaper. It's like a reaping hex. So it's kind of a nice exchange here. You're running a little low on health points, which is what they're called in DC20. You attach this hex to a spell, and now they get 1 point of true damage. What's true damage?
Can't defend against it. I just take it. You just
Can't be
take
stopped.
It. Can't stop it.
Can't
no
be
way
stopped.
to stop
There's
it.
no, it's happening whether you like it or not. It's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me. That's for sure. And then you, as the caster, as the witch, you get a health point back.
Oh, that's great.
This will go on for a
That's
full minute.
great.
If they keep failing that saving
my
throw, they're going to
gosh.
keep taking a point of damage, and you're getting a point of health back. So it's like this.
Wow.
You're just draining them of their
Draining
life
their
essence.
life, yeah.
cool.
Or if you get them close to the end. I mean, imagine them being in a battle and you're like,
Yeah.
just take that last life of theirs. That's pretty awesome.
They start like pruning up.
Right?
Right.
You
They're,
just swallow your soul.
keep taking more and more, and
Give me more.
so that's cool. But my favorite one
Uh-oh.
is called the Vermin Hex. Now, mechanically, this is how this works. Any creature that's large or smaller, when you attach this hex to your hocus pocus, they shrink 1 size. So large becomes medium. Then the next round, medium becomes small. And then the next round, small becomes tiny. They can't go any smaller than tiny. You're not going to turn them into an amoeba. So you just keep shrinking them. And he said you can flavor this, which is what I would do, where they start looking like this, whether it's a frog or a rat, or what's another vermin? Kathleen Kennedy.
Wow.
So they could start looking like the first time you hit them with it. It's good to start this off on a medium creature because they're going to get to tiny faster, obviously. But maybe they sprout a little nose. They get little whiskers, and their teeth are right. And you're like, what's going on here? And the next one, they start getting this nasty, greasy fur, and a tail starts to come out of their butt. They think they're pooping, but they look back and it's a tail. They're embarrassed, and then and then the next one is they're a rat now. And what do you do with rats?
You squish them.
exterminate
Just
them.
stop on them. You can just throw some cheese at them.
How do you fight against that, though? Is there a way you can...
Charisma saving
save.
check.
Oh.
All of these hexes, people can roll a charisma saving throw against your spell DC every round. I have a personal problem with the saving throws every round. That's from 5e. I think it's stupid, but here it is as well. So what are you going to do?
You can bane them, though.
You add that to Bane then, and they get a negative to their save.
You're turning them into anything you can think of. It doesn't have to be a rat or a frog. It can be a penguin.
Stop.
Penguins aren't
The
vermin.
penguins. They're not. They're beautiful creatures.
Some people think they're vermin. And then your flavor feature is you're a curse expert. Just like the portal mage, I know what portals do. I recognize that sigil marking. That's a goddamn portal. Give me a second, I'll maybe tell you where it leads. Maybe I'll find the on and off switch. This is a curse expert.
Ooh.
So you take a minute, you can detect. You're in a place and you want to, for some reason, you have a feeling, I wonder if there's a cursed something in here. And so you're going to detect if there's a curse. And you can find one within 20 spaces. So you can detect if there's a cursed creature or a cursed object within 20 spaces, which is what? How many feet? 25? 20?
5 times 20 is 100 feet. You were correct in saying 100 feet this one.
And then you can take 10 minutes to learn the nature of the curse. But you don't learn how to remove it.
That seems dumb.
No,
You're
it doesn't.
dumb.
That's a whole campaign right there. How to
Well,
remove the curse.
you'd have to, if you did know the nature of the curse and you have a remove curse spell or a remove curse feature that will come later on, I'm sure, then of course you can remove it. But if you don't have any of that, why would you be able to remove the curse? You wouldn't. So you have to have some utility to remove a curse.
Yeah, as a baby witch, you just don't have
As
that.
a baby witch, you don't have that. Come on. Don't get greedy. That's your witch subclass of the wizard.
Ooh.
Also very cool.
All right, well, that's the witch, right? You got the portal mage.
That is the witch and the portal mage.
the witch.
What flavor would the curse expert be, Brandon?
Ooh. I would say oil flavor. It would definitely not taste good.
What about the portal mage's flavor?
Portal Mage? Snickers.
You already used Snickers before.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't keep using the same flavor.
Mars bars.
You didn't even think about it. You didn't think, why Mars bars?
Because it's like out of this world, baby.
Why wouldn't you be the Milky Way then?
Here's the real excitement. Every single class gets a Paragon subclass.
Stop it. Do they?
The Paragon is when you want to really just don't pick something that veers off of. You want to be a really wizardy wizard. You want to build on the stuff that you got at first and second level. And you just want to really make that more powerful and become more skilled at that. So practically speaking, if any of these classes, if you don't like the subclass offerings, right now you got 2, like we said, there'll be many more. But if you don't like them, go with the Paragon and just become more of your class. And there are 2 choices here. Rick's going to tell you all about
Yeah,
that.
you're like the pinnacle of your arcane mastery, right? You're the wizardest wizard.
Yeah, you are.
Wizardy
You are.
wizard.
You are the wizard.
You are just a fucking wizard. Don't call me anything else. I'm a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I don't care about your portals and your witches. You can play with that shit, but I'm a wizard.
Two
So what are your
choices
2 choices? You get 2 choices as a Paragon.
2.
So you want to go more this direction or more this direction? Rick's going to tell you what they are.
The first one is crowned sigil.
Seagull.
High five.
Okay.
Or seagull, if you like seagulls. Crown sigil. This is even better than the regular sigil. What did the regular sigil do? It just gave you enhanced magical abilities, right?
It was fun at level 1, but we've grown out of that.
The portal mage is going to use it to jump around, so you're going to use it your own way, which you're going to take this arcane sigil and you're going to bind it to yourself. Now it moves with you. It doesn't just stay on the ground. It goes with you anywhere you go.
So you don't have to spend an action point to move it.
No.
It's attached to you.
It goes with you wherever
on
you
the
go.
floor. It just moves. Perfect. That's so cool.
That is cool. So it's like having automatic advantage on those spells
All the time.
all the time.
All the time. But you can spend an action point to anchor it to the ground if you want to stop it from doing that. So you don't have to take it with you. If you want to put it on the ground, it just costs an action point. And it does grant you an extra bonus to your defense too.
That's pretty cool.
+2.
+2, yeah. So it's pretty good.
+2 bonus to your defense while you're in there. So you can choose that. So you're capitalizing on your sigil. You're much more. You just want to be a sigil wizard. You want your stuff to be all about making your sigil do cool stuff, right? So that's what you would choose if you want to play this type of Paragon.
Yeah, no, I like the actual next one a lot. This one's
Ooh, what is
good.
it?
This one's really good. This is your even overly prepared spell.
I'm so ready for this. I've never been more ready in my entire life.
That is the type of wizard you're talking about. You even prepared this spell, and now you overly prepared it again. You doubly prepared it.
You have OCD.
God damn it.
Doubly prepared it. So, and you could switch this prepared spell after a short rest. Before it was a long rest. Now you can do it on a short rest.
That's really cool.
The spell is even better now because you get advantage on concentrations with this spell, right? You also get advantage on spell checks of this spell when using a spell duel.
Well, so now you get advantage when you start a spell duel, and other people have disadvantage against that spell on a spell duel, so you're covered. You're going to win the spell
You're
duel.
pretty covered. That spell is,
Palpatine.
that is your force lightning, right? Every time he pulls it out, he hits somebody with it and kills them. That's your force
You're going
lightning
to win.
right there.
You're
Yeah.
going to get a reputation
Yes.
as a spell duelist.
And this part is pretty cool too. You can use signature school on your prepared spell, even if it's not from that chosen school. And it's
With what
so that means you get a
minus.
1 magic point or mana point, sorry, in
Yeah.
reduction for casting that spell.
Okay.
Signature school on a prepared spell, even if it's not from your chosen school.
That's really cool.
Now you're a wizard that's all about this prepared spell thing that you can do. You can take one spell, doesn't have to always be the same one, but
No,
you
you
can
can switch
take
it
one
out.
spell and really put some power into it, really put some polish on it, as we said. And
Yeah, you're really a spell expert
I feel like
at
this
this
is.
point, right? This is
I feel like this is the Hermione Granger of wizards. I know everything, and I have the right thing for the right thing all the time.
so you are the actual. This is a huge paragon. That's a paragon in itself, right?
It's a paragon because if you know that you're going to be playing,
Oh.
there are campaigns where you're just fighting monsters and who cares? But if you're playing in a good campaign where you're actually fighting other humanoids and wizards and stuff that can cast spells, you want to be a spell duelist, this is what you pick. Because you will be known for being able to don't spell duel that fucker.
Right.
right.
You're gonna
Yeah,
lose.
nobody can beat him.
He'll-
They're the
yeah.
fastest spell in the West.
Fastest. That is sort of like that, right? You walk
Yeah.
out there and they're like,
This
you
is
just
Doc
take 'em down.
Holliday.
Yeah.
Don't mess with him.
That'd be really cool as like a protector,
Yeah.
like of your
pretty
party,
awesome.
who was like, magic is really powerful. I can protect you from that. And you're like,
Yeah.
no.
People
No.
will, they'll look exactly. They'll be like, do your thing. You're going to cast a spell. And be like,
No.
You are
You
the
know.
wizard of the wizards.
Yes.
You are the chosen one.
You shall not cast a spell against us.
Which actually do you like best, Brandon? Out of all these?
I'm all about the Portal Mage. I really do love the Portal Mage over the Witch and over the wizardy of them all. I just like the idea of having these different portals and moving things and almost the chaotic nature of it all. I mean, you're still controlling everything, but it's really fun and
Bending reality to your will.
yeah.
you can be really creative with that. That's good for a really creative player that gets bored easy. Pick a portal mage.
Mm-hmm.
You can always try to figure out ways to make it different.
What do you like, Ken? Which one did you feel like is the best one?
I would,
For you, would you play one?
well, that's what's cool is like for different situations or if I know what campaign I'm playing in, like I would never play wizard. I never wanted to play wizard. The portal mage could kind of maybe tempt me. I think I would like the most if I knew we were playing in a campaign that wasn't just fighting monsters. I wouldn't play in a campaign like that anyway. I like personal vendettas and things. We really gotta hate the bad guy if it's just a
tougher to
monster. Who
fight
cares?
PCs.
I'd want to be a spell duelist. I think that would be so fun. So I'd probably take the overly prepared Paragon Wizard is what I would take if I was playing that at a table. Because just how cool is that you are just a badass spell dueler and people try to spell duel with you and you shut them right down. That'd be fun.
You'd be able to talk a lot of shit too.
Talk a lot.
Just
You get a
lot of shit.
reputation.
Oh my god.
Oh, you're an archmage? I'm a level 3 overly prepared spell Paragon wizard. Try to spell duel me.
And they'd be like, is that really what you call yourself? I'm still working on a name.
Doesn't
matter.
Just try me. Try to sling a spell at me.
Yeah, you draw first. Let's see what happens. Go ahead, cast a fireball at me. Let's see. I won't even do anything. Which one would you pick?
They're all good. Like literally, I love playing wizards, and I could see myself playing all of these. Every time I play a wizard, I always play a divination wizard because I want the extra port and D&D, and that's the only one to do. The rest
Rick
kind
likes
of
a stacked deck.
I do like that. But overly prepared spell stacks my deck.
It does.
It gives me that flavor that I would want. And the Witch's Coven, I'd be hexing people, and the Portal Mage, super freaking cool. Like
The one thing that kind of yucks my yum when it comes to the witch thing, and this is just a general RPG problem I have, as I said, is that you get that hex for 1 minute, but sooner or later they're making that saving throw and it's all gone.
They're gonna make the save, yeah.
So it just ruins the fun. I feel like it should be, what was it, third
3.5
edition or
or 3.
4th edition, where somebody gets to make a saving throw once against something you do to them, and if they fail that, now they have the condition for the whole minute.
Yeah,
There's no getting out of it.
That reaping thing, the
Either
one
works
true
or it
damage,
doesn't.
that one true damage health point back, like that would be really
Yes.
cool if that was in the middle of a battle and you're like, oh no, I'm now dying.
Yeah. You want to
and
count
there's
on
nothing
it.
I can do about it. Now it's like in a round or two.
Maybe
I'm
if it
like,
was concentration, then so they could actually focus on you and have
There
to
you
go
go.
after
Yeah.
you.
That'd be great.
Because like you're hiding in the back doing
Make it
your curses, and
concentration.
they're like, we gotta kill her now.
Yeah, because that's fucking me up.
That would screw everything up.
So I would be more excited about that if it wasn't for the fact that we've all been in the position where they make their save and now that shit's done and you're like, ooh, fairy fire, I'm going to try fairy fire. Oh, no, yeah, I made their save. Well, that was a waste. So I have PTSD with that crap. So I just feel like if they can make a save every round, you're never going to get a creature too tiny and looking like a rat or a frog because they're going to make their save sooner or later. You might once on a really good day avoid that, but I would maybe even homebrew that one save is all you get initially. If you fail that save, you're stuck with this thing for the next minute. And that can happen to you too. If you get attacked by a witch, that's more fun too. Because you're like, well, I'll just make the next save. I'll save. Of course I'll save. But it's like, no, you better make this save. Because if not, you got a minute of hell ahead of you.
You'd have to stop that
Like, you
curse
gotta
immediately.
stop them.
You'd have to go after that person.
So that would add an element to the battlefield and all that. So
would be-
your combat would be different now. We got to stop this curse because this is ridiculous.
Right.
Go get that witch and I'll try to remove this curse. And now, yeah. An important thing to mention here too is that
Love it.
unlike 5e, I don't know if they fix this in 2024. I'm not reading that book again. I read it once and I'm not going to remember any of it. But there are no dead levels. So it isn't like, oh, well, this is going to be your whole career as a wizard or a witch or a portal mage. You're going to keep getting cooler stuff. We're just scratching the surface.
Right.
Here's a little taste. So we be a full-time customer and come back.
Right.
Level 4. We got some more of this crack.
We don't know this, but maybe further levels on, concentration becomes a thing on those things, and you can force that.
That's what I say.
Yeah. I mean, we're saying it right here. Maybe the dungeon coach will hear us.
He's gonna hear your fucking phone.
My
He's gonna
vibrator.
hear in your
So
pants.
leave my vibrator alone.
Leave me alone. So there you go. There is your wizard subclasses. There are your wizard subclasses, or
There is
whatever. Depends on if you're British. For DC2009, these aren't going to go through a lot of changes. There might be some tweaks here and there as the game testing, play testing progresses, but these are your first three. You'll remember your first three subclasses because there's many more coming. Let us know in the comments which ones you think would be the coolest and why. Why would this one appeal to you and not that one? Everybody's different. Let's see if we can figure out which one's the most popular as far as the people who watch our channel.
Right. And everybody has different ways to use them too. That's the best part in the comments is you're reading other people's ways they're using these subclasses in their classes, and you're like, I never even thought of that.
Right.
Got anything to add
I don't.
before we get out of here?
Not now.
No?
Nope.
Wow.
Bye.